Today's interview was brought to you by Mulliganbrothers.com, where you can now buy the hardest worker in the room t-shirts, which help support film and direct projects like this. You could also become a YouTube member with the join button down below. Let's jump into the interview.
When you've got the positive mindset of becoming a world champion, what's the negativity that, you say you're your biggest enemy, you're the thing that can stop you from getting that? What is it? Yeah, but what are those thoughts like, like in those moments?
I think, as again, we're all humans, so there's times you lay down, you think, oof, don't know, man, this is seeming a bit unlikely. But then when I start thinking like that, you gotta reflect. Because I'm one of those people, I just live in the moment. I don't sit down on my credentials, like I don't always check the board over there, like, oh yeah, you see this, yeah, like I won this. I don't do that. But sometimes when you're feeling like that, that's what it's about. It's about going back to those things. My dad calls it having something to hang your hat on. You have to go back to those things because you achieve them. They haven't vanished. And you get caught up in this one little moment, and it's like, look what you've done, look what you've actually done, look what you've actually achieved. And it's not a fluke. You don't become an 8-time national champion by a fluke. It just doesn't happen. So then you start to go, you know what, these things happen, and you remember things people have said to you. World champions have said to me, oh, you hit hard, you're one of the most difficult people I've ever been in there with, and stuff like that. And you think, there's no reason for them to say that. They don't have to say that. They don't owe me anything. Like, dust your shoulders off and get back to the program. And that's how I operate.
When you're in the gym and it's tough, maybe on a treadmill, you're going for a long run, is there a mantra that goes through your head, like something that sticks in your mind that kind of motivates you to keep pulling forward?
I just think I don't want my opponent to have that advantage. That's all I think about. I just think I'm only in competition with myself though, really. Like, just because my opponent runs, say, 20 miles a week, I can run 5 miles a week. I don't think he's better than me. I don't think he's fitter than me. I just work to my optimal. I know what works for me. My dad knows what works for me. My whole team, they know what works for me. And as long as I'm pushing myself to that point, I don't worry too much about what they're doing. I worry about what they're doing when I'm in there with them. That's the truth. When I'm in there with them and they hit me, bang, I'll go, okay, this is what we're doing. Cool. Now I'm gonna get you now. I'm gonna get you. But throughout the whole camp, some people need to hit the bag. Like, he's hitting the bag right now, so I have to hit the bag right now. I don't think that. I just think this is what we do. This is how we operate. This is how we train, and we always do more than enough to be ready for whatever you're doing. Even if your regimen is more, less is more, and we got to know that my team know me, and we work exactly how we need to.
Have you got something in mind for the toughest adversity in your career, whether it's inside the ring or outside the ring?
Toughest adversity in my career, injury. Say it's injury. It's not losing. I'd say it's injury, because that is something that when the injury came, it was talking about my back injury most recently. It was frustrating because I was like, I'm ready to take the sport seriously now. Like, all these years I didn't, and now I'm taking it seriously. I'm doing everything that I need to do. I'm watching the sport. I'm trying my best, and now I get injured. When I really want it, now I get injured. I think that was hard to deal with. That was tough to deal with because it's like, why is this happening to me when I'm committing, But it made me, it's one of the biggest blessings that's ever happened to me, honestly, because it gave me that time to grow as a man. And I always say, you're a man first. And if you're a weak man, you're going to be a weak fighter. And I'm always a good fighter. I've always been a good fighter, but my mentality as a man hasn't always been as strong. And I've had friends for a long time who've seen me change as a person and seen me mature as a person. And that is why that injury happened to me. I truly believe that's why that injury happened. For me to come back to the UK, to come back to the team that built me, and also for me to mature as a man and really look at life differently, to then get back in the ring and be clear and know exactly what I want to do and how I should maneuver and operate with my life. And I'd say that injury in the beginning, I just thought, I don't know why me? Why me? You know, and you ask yourself that question, why me? And then as I was going through the journey of it and getting to the middle and the end of it, I said, this injury weren't to ruin my career. This injury was to improve here. This injury was to really touch on here and be prepared for all the successes that's coming.
If you're enjoying this interview, guys, please consider heading over to Mulliganbrothers.com, where you can help support more projects like this in the future. Or you become a YouTube member with the join button down below. Let's jump back into the interview.
It's funny because I think like injury is like one of the biggest hurdles. Like you go to the pub and you see the guy, you know, I was going to be pro, but, and then they say, you know, the long list of injuries that they had. Everyone has injuries. Mm-hmm. The greats all had injuries. So yeah, I think that's, I mean, it's just a part of it. It must be horrible.
It's horrible. It's horrible, especially when you miss big opportunities because of injury. Do you know what I mean? And that sometimes when big opportunities are in front of you, any opportunity after that that may be bigger, that is not on your mind. That's the last thing on your mind. Oh, don't worry, you missed this one. There will be bigger. That's the last thing you want to hear. But again, it's about manifesting that energy, and any lows, treating them how you want to treat them. And you know, that is where the mental strength came in. That's where I really went from here to here in terms of my mentality, in terms of what I think, in terms of how I look at others, and the direction. What's my purpose? What do I want to get out of boxing? Yeah, I'm good at boxing. But what do I want to get out of boxing? World champion's not enough. It's not enough. You know what I mean? It's a pinnacle, but it's not enough. What do I actually want to leave behind? Do you know what I mean? What do I want to create? What brand do I want to create? When people see me, what do I want them to think? You know, how on a deeper scale. And once I started to identify that, boxing stuff is easy.
What is it? Like, how would you describe those things you just said?
I want to make sure I'm not the same as everyone else, but not trying hard to do it by just simply being myself. We live in a world where people want to be like the trend because it's easy. It's easy to fit into a trend. It's easy to just find your way by being like someone else, being a knockoff version of someone else. But it doesn't have to be done that way. And the greats never operated that way. They're all different. Muhammad Ali ain't the same as Tyson, but they're both legends. Evander Holyfield ain't the same as Lennox Lewis, but they're both legends. They're both respected as highly as each other. And I feel like when we live in this social media world now, and you see that the guy that does this has 100k followers, it's like, well, if I do something similar, maybe I can get 100k. You know, and it's easy to fall into it. It's easy to fall into it, especially if revenue is involved. But then I really took a step back and said, no, this is me, you know. You only can be yourself, and people will be attracted to the fact that you are yourself. And that's when I feel like my brand went from here to here, because my brand was really documenting what the other YouTubers are doing. It wasn't really who's Viddal. And then when I got comfortable with the fact, this is me. This is who I am. So if you like the channel, come to the channel. If you don't, you don't. And I'm completely comfortable just being who I need to be. And I feel like my brand's only grown since then, and I've received more personal love since then. Instead of just being the trainer of so and so, can I get a picture of you? People really like, no, you're like Viddal. Like, you know, they're connecting with me now, and that's the most beautiful thing, I think.
100%, yeah, it is authentic, man. There's loads of things you could easily do just to clickbait something.
Yeah, my channel, I'm telling you, my channel will be on 2-3 million subscribers right now if I was trying to just do whatever to get that. If I was trying to do anything to get subscribers and views, I'd have triple the views, I'd have triple the subscribers. But are they really there for me? No. And I'd rather not have them. That's my mentality. I'd rather not have it. If it's not sincere, I don't want it. If it's not sincere, I don't want it. I only want sincerity. I'd rather have 100k subscribers, knowing that 100k, if I said I'm standing here today, come and meet me, they will come, rather than have 1 million and they're like, what is KSI gonna be? And I'm like, no. They're like, cool, we're not coming. what's the point in that? That doesn't make any sense to me. And it's the best thing just to have that authenticity and that genuine, you know, respect, and you know, the supporters at home just feel that way about you, and I feel it when I meet people as well. Like, it is a different energy I get now.
Guys, this whole video was made possible through Mulliganbrothers.com and everybody who's become a member and helped support us and subscribes to the channel, hits the notification bell. None of this can happen without you guys. So I just want to say a massive thank you. If you do want to support us, the link to the website is down below, where you can buy the hardest worker in the room t-shirts. Do not buy these t-shirts if you're going to be in the room and there's someone else working hard on you. It is not allowed. Guys, go follow me on Instagram at Jordan Mulligan Brother. Hope you gained something from it. Comment down below what was the best thing you got from this interview. Have a blessed and productive day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.